Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's still Monday the 19th. And I've been boondocking in the woods for a couple months now and been almost over here. And I'm a little shaky right now. I've worked up. Um, if you haven't been following me long, before I got out here, I was staying on somebody's property. My friend, I've known from middle school, and his wife. And I am so thankful that they let me stay there. Still am. Really appreciated it. And I showed my appreciation and I paid them every month $400, yada, yada, yada. I had access to the house, to the bathroom. I used utilities and whatnot. And even when I stopped working, I still managed to, through help, continue to pay them the $400 and contribute when I had to or could. But at the end, right after I paid them for the month of March, they came at me with this sudden need for $1,000 for an electrical bill. And I don't care what the amount was or how much of it I owed. I don't care. I was happy, still am, that I made that happen and they got paid. But she wasn't. And, it, again, came right at me. You're going to sell all your stuff? Yeah, I don't care how I get my money. Like, that's not how you talk to people. And I don't care about the gravity of their emergency. The fact that they hit me with it at the last minute to the guy that's unemployed living in a tent. Yeah. And I get that her feelings are hurt because that doesn't exactly paint them in the most positive light. But guess what? If you don't want to be made out to be a bad person, don't act like one. And again, I didn't hold any grudges. There were hugs and apologies, and I left there, I thought, on good terms. But I did leave. And today in the messages, after saying, first thing they brought up was, well, you had access to the house and the utilities and stuff like that. And I don't dispute that. And I immediately responded back with true. And I agreed with all of that. And then she went crazy and went south, and I had to report and mute her. And that's really unfortunate. It hurts my feelings because I really do care about what people think. And that's on me. But whenever I do something wrong, I usually cry, but I apologize, I make amends, and I repent. I turn around and do not do that, Um, but I don't hold grudges and I don't, waste my time. I don't look for trouble. And I avoid trouble when it comes to me. And the fact that I keep having to deal with these people and they're just shitty attitudes when I'm already in a shitty situation. And like this morning with the emails and the job rejections, it really motivated me to engage in some more acts of futilities and trying to get something else to work out. I've been doing this with due diligence for a year, y'all. And I honestly have done everything and anything that everybody always hits at me to do, and then some. I worked 7 of last months of last year. It's not like I'm lazy. And I'd love a job. I'd love a roof over my head. And to know I have enough food and access to that stuff if I don't. But this is my reality. And I do have formed really close bonds with several people. And I hope they do and would vouch for me that I do stay in contact and relationship with them. Because it means a lot to me. I don't have that many people in my life. Most of them are from people that I met from TikTok. I don't I don't know where I'd be without them because outside of my occasional conversation with my aunt, I don't have much. And I spend lots of times beating myself up, blaming myself, but that doesn't fix the situation. And neither do other people constantly attacking people in my situation. It just makes it worse. And I can really understand how long-term exposure just ruins the mind. Being denied the basic needs of life, and always being in survival mode, takes its toll. So far, I've been able to stay afloat, sort of, and I try to stay more or less encouraging, positive, and optimistic. But I'd be lying if I don't have doubts and second thoughts and fears. But what's my alternative? I don't see anybody shooting anything out like that. I haven't had anybody in social services step up and say, oh, here, I can give you a shortcut. And there's just so many people that would love to help me but can't. And then there's a handful of people. They do what they can when they can. And it's always a bigger blessing than I could ever expect or could hope for. And so many people contribute in the most amazing ways in their positivity, their words of encouragement, their empathy, for sharing some of their stories sometimes. And those connections, the community, the family, that's where it's at for me. If I have to change my situation for whatever reason, so be it. But I'm hoping that I can at least continue to have a group of people that I've gained through this experience online with me. Maybe that won't happen. I don't know. I just know that people like rattling other people's cages. And some of us might look pretty tough, but we get rattled pretty easily. Especially when they get yelled at and called names all the time. Whole day worth of accomplishments, and I just feel completely deflated. And I feel like a horrible person. I can't control how other people feel or how other people talk or it gets to me because I'm trying so hard. And I'm trying to be the least inconvenience to the world. I don't know what else to say right now. I'll talk to y'all later.